Guys, happy Thursday. I'm super excited about this. So we've got a special launch for you today. I know we've been teasing it for a little bit. We've actually been teasing it for a couple months. So I'm going to just dive straight in. We're going to do some more teaching stuff next week, some free teaching stuff. But this week is all going to be about this special launch. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Micah McLean, and I'm the founder of Search Click Grow and the Local Growth Academy. So Search Click Grow is a done-for-you agency service, primarily serving contractors and local service pros. Many of you guys know me for doing awesome web work and Google Ads and lead gen services for a lot of contractors. And we also have the Local Growth Academy Facebook group. So that's kind of where we're at right now. I have a team behind me. We've got decades and decades of experience. I've personally been in this niche since about 2005 when I got out of the Air Force. So I've been in marketing and media for quite a long time, close to 2 decades. And I got team members ranging from a couple years of experience to very close behind me. So that's a little bit about who we are. If you don't know, a lot of people here do know me already. But for those of you who don't, that's a little bit of backstory. So let me talk about kind of where this thing came from that I'm about to tell you what it is. So last year, my team and I sat down together. We took a look at like our path, our vision. We do this every year, but we were taking a look at our path, our vision, our mission, and we redefined what our mission was as a team. And you can see right on the screen, our mission is super clear. Over the next 5 years, we want to help 1,000 contractors grow their business with better systems. On the agency side of our business, we have been fortunate enough to be part of that with hundreds, but we want to be in the thousands. So our agency service, we help build marketing and lead gen systems, client nurture systems, help book appointments. And with some of our clients, we help and consult them on sales so they can get more deals. So we're already doing that now, but we wanted to say, hey, how can we scale this up by a very large factor? And it's a big goal. It's a really big goal. So we knew we needed a big plan. So we've been working on this for quite some time now. So we figured, what can we do to hit this goal? And one of the first things we realized is that we just weren't doing enough. So we have tons of conversations with contractors. A lot of you guys know me online. I'm very active on social. I'm always giving tips into various groups, including this one. I have tons of private conversations. I give away free strategy calls. We make YouTube videos, Facebook shorts. We go live. We do audits of business marketing. I just did a Google ad audit for someone last night at like 10 o'clock at night, just because they asked, and they're not even a client. So those are the kind of things that we're constantly doing to give back. We've already been doing that, but we still realized that wasn't enough, not to hit that goal. So when we have all these conversations and these Facebook chats and these breakthrough calls that I do, and even with some of our clients, and we talk about and we log and we pay attention to the struggles that people have, and we see a lot of trends. And one of the trends is people working with a bad agency, getting completely screwed over by spending thousands a month, getting locked into huge contracts, trying to leave an agency, getting assets taken they don't want to give back, whole series of stuff there. Also, we got a lot of businesses that rely on word of mouth, and the only way they've been able to keep in business is because they do great work and they get referrals. But when those referrals aren't there, they're suffering, right? And all in all, what we see is lack of systems and lack of predictability in client acquisition, right? And getting enough leads isn't the whole story, right? So our agency helps solve getting leads, and our free content helps provide training for those that are, at a place where they can't afford help. So we've got, agency services, traditional stuff. It's expensive to get done for you help. And we come in and help with lead gen and client acquisition systems for our clients. And then on the free side in this group, including right here, if you guys are listening right now, right in this group, there's a lot of amazing free content for those that are just starting that don't have budget to reinvest, we have a lot of things in here to kind of get you a couple steps up the ladder of growth, completely free, no strings attached. But we realized that, in order to hit that goal, there's somewhere in the middle. Not everyone wants an agency, and not everyone can afford an agency. And also the free content in the middle or at the bottom, it's going to help a certain number of people, but it's not going to help everybody. And so what we wanted to do is create something that would help us diversify and hit that goal of helping 1,000 contractors. And we started looking at ourselves, and we realized that we already have all the systems and processes in house. We needed an A to Z method that we could teach, that anyone could learn and implement to get the same or similar results. And last year, many of you have probably experienced some of the beta tests that we did. We launched a Google Ads course that helped a bunch of people. I had a conversation with a lady in Australia who bought my course, never talked to her before, just found the course from a Google search, bought it, and contacted me months and months later after she was using it and wanted to see if I would screen share and answer a couple questions. I didn't even know who she was. And she had bought this course and implemented it. And within just a few months, she was getting like $25 leads for her contracting business without any other interaction. And so we're like, okay, and a couple other people have taken some of our website and SEO trainings and built big businesses out of that. So one person in particular that's in this group, had a separation from a business partner, had to start over completely from scratch, took some of our free training for our website stuff, local SEO stuff, and was able to reboot his business and surpass what his previous partner had done in just a few months. So we realized at that point we really had something, and that our systems, even in the hands of people that are not trained full-time marketers, were able to get really great results. And so we wanted to expand upon that. So we created a program that we're calling the Customer Acquisition Bootcamp. The Customer Acquisition Bootcamp is a training and coaching program designed to teach our entire agency method. Literally everything that we do from the moment we onboard a client, building a brand, building lead gen systems, nurture systems, sales systems, the entire thing. We call it the Customer Acquisition Bootcamp because it's an entire process, A to Z, of how to acquire clients. Not just how to get leads, not just how to book appointments, but how to get clients, paying clients. So inside of this method that we've been doing for quite a while as an agency and beta testing with other people, we have three main phases. We have a foundation phase, and that sets up the kind of premise of what the systems that we're going to build. It's some market research and some other things. And then we go into a marketing phase. And that's where the traditional marketing stuff that you can think of that someone like me would do, websites and ads and social media and, LSA, Google Business, all those kind of things, even print marketing and some other things. That's where that kind of stuff comes in. So then the third phase is the sales system. And in that system, we talk about how to use CRM and automations to nurture leads to booked appointments. We talk about closing techniques. So when you're on a job, you can actually present a bid and not send it in an email and get it lost in space. And you actually learn proper closing techniques so that you're more likely to get a close while you're there. And then really importantly, we also have a spot where we teach how to take a happy client and turn them into a raving fan that's eager and willing to get us new business and referrals. So this method is something we've been using in an agency for quite some time, and we've been beta testing parts of it with different people. And this method is a repeatable way to get new customers on demand, and it's a complete A to Z method. So let's talk a little bit about why we think this method is powerful. So one of the most common misconceptions, and I touched on it a second ago, is that, again, going back to calls that we have, lots of calls and Facebook chats and things like that with potential clients. One of the most common misconception is that all I need for my business is to just get leads. I hear that every day. If I just had leads, I would solve my business. And the reality is most businesses, if I were to come into your business and I were to give you 20 leads a day, you would buckle. You wouldn't know how to handle it because the rest of the client acquisition system is not in place, and it needs to be. I've had so many times where I've worked with clients where I've turned on leads and they're missing phone calls, and they're spending money on ads and it's not going anywhere because no one's answering the phones or returning back emails. And it's an entire system. So it's not just about leads. But, you know, the point here is that, you don't want just one little anecdotal tip. Very often, including in some of our own free stuff, one tip is going to get you a step up, and that's great. But what we wanted to do is create a system to help take people from here to here and give them everything in the pathway. So instead of having chaos of like DIY strategies and, spending hours and hours and hours on YouTube, hearing conflicting opinions, hearing, this person's YouTube strategy and this person's website strategy and piecemealing everything together, we really wanted to put together a system and a process. So we created a training platform to bring all of that in-house and all of it in one program. So let's talk about who this is for. This program is going to be for contractors and home service pros primarily, right? So if you're an e-com person or you're an agency or something else, this program is not for you. This is meant for contractors and home service pros. If you do, it could be for a lot of different kinds of home service pros, but you need to be in that contractor or home service space. You're going to need to be motivated and ambitious. This is not for someone that just wants to get a program and learn and then, not take action, right? We need people that are going to do things with it. We want leaders and owners. We don't want people that are passive, that are just looking for continual education to think about things, like I said, and not take action. Really important, you're going to have the time to put in the work. Now, we've designed this program for a few different kinds of people. Some of them are going to be single operators, or maybe, 2, 3, 4, 5-man crews, where they are going to have some people do the work, maybe through subcontracting, and they're going to do the marketing and sales, and that works. If you have or want to have an internal marketer on your team do this still works. You just have to have someone internal in your team doing the work. Also really important, you have to know your vision. You don't have to know goals or plans of action. That's what this program is going to help. But you have to have a vision for where you want to go. Because in this program, we're going to help you figure out how to get there and which of the steps inside of there are most appropriate to do, and create action plans for each one of these. So our system is a framework, and it's malleable to multiple sizes of businesses. We use it everywhere from businesses that are just barely making 100,000 all the way to businesses that are making $2, $3, $4, $5 million a year, and occasionally some even larger businesses. So we intentionally designed this system to be able to be used for multiple scales of business, but you have to be able to put in the work, and you have to have a vision. You also have to want a proven method. I know that sounds silly, but hear me out. There are so many people that I've worked with in the past in coaching, private coaching, where they want to hear an opinion and then they just don't want to actually do it. You need to be willing to try these new things, and you need to be able to follow this path. We know these things work together. Taken apart, they have mixed results. So we want people that are going to actually trust in this method and see it through on the outside. Now, who is this not for? It's going to be the inverse, right? If you are lazy and unmotivated, you're complacent, you're unwilling to invest in this, really time into this, this is not going to work for you. If you don't have a vision of where you want to go, if you don't want to change, if you are afraid of change, right, this is not going to work for you. Or if you're not a contractor or home service pro, this method is not for you. There's a few people in this group that aren't in that, and there's some, free stuff in this group that can maybe be valuable to you, and I hope that it is. But this program is designed for people that do e-commerce or any other kind of business. Really, it's really designed for people that need leads. They need to take those leads and book them into appointments. They're going to book those appointments and go to a house, go to a property owner, sit down face to face with them, have some bid for whatever their service is, and then hopefully get the work and do the job. right? That's who this program is for. So let's talk about next what this program includes. So we spent a lot of time on this, and we wanted to make sure that we thought about personality types and motivation and learning styles. I'm kind of a geek like that. Like, I pay attention to how people learn and how people retain. And one of the reasons why our marketing is good and why we won several national awards for our marketing is because we pay attention to how people learn, and we're able to make content in a way that's not only digestible, but it's retainable. And that's pretty critical. So our course is broken down into 3 phases, and there's 12 total modules right now. There's 12 plus on the screen because we already have some other stuff planned, but there's 12 modules today, right now. And all of those courses, some of them are already pre-recorded, some of them are going to do live because they need to be interactive. But all of those courses are the core part of what this program includes. And again, we're going to start from the very, very beginning, the foundation, to that foundation phase. And there's several modules in there. Then we're going to get to the marketing phase, several modules in there. Then we're going to get to the sales phase, and there's several modules in there. The next thing it's going to include is every one of our modules is going to have downloadable workbooks. So we've created, these downloadable workbooks that are going to help you plan the particular teaching thing that's on the plate. For example, our avatar worksheet, where we discuss how to find your perfect avatar. There's a workbook that goes along with that, exercises in the training. Then you take the workbook, you fill it out, and you're going to have a perfect defined avatar that you can use in the rest of your marketing and growth. So there's a workbook for every module. You're also going to get access to our private member site. One of the reasons it took us a little bit longer than I would like to launch this is there's a bunch of website stuff that we had to do. And we were bombarded at the end of the year with a bunch of people that wanted new websites. And then we spoke at that liftoff event a couple of weeks ago. But so between all that, with the website stuff is what primarily held us back from launching sooner. But there's a private membership site. It's got forums and chats, and it's a place where we can share our workbooks and get feedback. It's sort of like a private Facebook group, but inside of our own area. And you're going to get access to that. And that's where you're going to access all of your modules and your recordings. And that's where you're going to see the schedules for our coaching calls and downloadable resources, and all the other things that are included are all going to be hubbed inside of that site. There's also going to be, number 4, is live coaching calls weekly. Now, being real, there's some weeks that we might skip, some big holiday weeks that we might postpone. But other than something like that, or some unforeseen emergency, these coaching calls are going to be every week. And so you'll have access in the website. You'll see the schedule of all the calls coming in, and you can chime in. They'll mostly be done on Zoom. It will be private, members only coaching call. This will not be a live to this Facebook group. Only the members are going to be invited. And that'll allow us to, after we go through one of the modules, to have a coaching call to talk about things that are common problem areas, and talk about how to scale and implement these things that we just learned, and how to measure our growth, and all sorts of other things we're going to talk about in these live coaching calls. But we also realize that just group coaching calls is probably not going to be enough, right? We wanted to be able to make sure that everyone has individualized help, so that regardless of where you are on your journey, you have specific help to be able to get you through the stuck points. So you're going to get some one-on-one coaching call with this program as well. And finally, you're going to get our access to all of our resources, checklists, downloads, workbooks, scorecards, external resources, even like a list of a bunch of cool external tools, all of the things that we use. Every tool, every process, everything that we use to do our job is at your disposal. Literally nothing is hidden. This is an agency playbook program, right? But it's designed for contractors, not to teach other agencies. It's designed to teach you how to be an agency for yourself. So let's talk real quick about pricing. So we thought about this, and I mentioned we did some beta testing last year with our Google Ads course and a couple other modules. We launched our Google Ads course for a few $100s, already undervalued. Other people with similar courses were charging $1,000 to $2,000 for just a Google Ads course. We had one person that had some feedback that said this program was worth easily $5,000 by itself. And we're talking about 12 modules here, 12 really killer modules, and access to all of the playbooks. Now, I could have done some cheesy little graphic here and shown you this is what this would cost, this is what this would cost, and do some, facade value stack. I'm not doing that. The price that you see on the screen is going to be our real-time pricing. We are going to charge $4,997 for a one-time investment for access to the program for 6 months. The program is designed to be used anywhere between 3 to 6 months. That's what it's designed for. Some people that are going a little quicker may get it done in 3. If you need a little bit more time, 6 months is about there. For those that may want ongoing access to it, that price is going to be $197. Maybe you want to do it again for a second business. Maybe you just want to keep up with updates because marketing stuff changes frequently, and we will be changing and making addendums as required. So that's what our normal pricing is going to be. But what we wanted to do is something really special because 2024, we want to hit, like I said, we want to be able to help 1,000 people. So to kind of kick us off on the right foot, to kick you off on the right foot, we wanted to make this a whole lot easier. And so right now, between now and February 1st, we're doing a special founder pricing. So this pricing is going to be a cost of $1,997. But the kicker here is it's a one-time price. So our normal pricing model will have a fee. And then after 6 months, if you wanted to stick around and continue access, it'll be a monthly fee to do that. This is going to be basically $2,000 forever, for the lifetime of this program, as long as we keep it up, which we plan on keeping this for years. So you're going to have forever access to this program, which means that you not only get the 6-month coaching program, but then if you want to jump on a coaching call 9 months from now, 18 months from now, maybe you want to revisit a Google ad module because something changed in your system. Maybe you want to get some feedback because you're doing some other, new cool things. That's going to be available to you for this price. But there is one catch, right? There's always got to be a catch, right? The catch here is that we're limiting this to the first 20 people. Only 20 people. If you're 21, sorry. And that's going to be when we hit 20 people or February 1st, whichever happens sooner. And I'm going to bet that we run out of 20 people before February 1st happens. So we wanted to put together our first cohort group and get them together and start running them through the program. And a month from now, we'll be selling it again, but it'll be at the normal price. And another group will run through it. So if you want to take advantage of that, I'm going to stick around and I'm going to show you how. That special price is lifetime for everything we've talked about so far, but only for the first 20 people. So if you want to do something, industry changing, you've got a vision for where you want to be and you're looking for help to get there, I think this might be the program to help, right? So a couple other notes. If you're an agency client of ours, you are going to get free access. So if you already have an agency bill from me, all you need to do is send me a private message on Facebook or send me an email. You've already got my contact information if you're an agency client of mine, and you're going to get access to this for free. What that means is you would still get your agency services, but you'd learn all of the rest of the things which can help with your nurturing, your sales processes, and the coaching, and goal setting, number tracking, performance, all the great stuff. Plus, you're going to get insight to see exactly what we are doing behind the scenes. If you are curious at all what a day-to-day looks for us running your campaign, join this program and you'll see. And again, for agency clients, that's completely free. This group is going to start. This program officially starts on February 1. We're doing registrations now, but the very first week of February is when we start. That's when our first coaching call will be. That's when you will get access to your first modules. You'll get access to a couple welcome modules before this, welcome videos and introduction videos and emails and reminders of how everything works. But the first course, main course, is going to be done in the first week of February. So, guys, I'm really excited about this. Super, super excited about this. And I know I'm not a very energetic, hands wave, kind of loud kind of person. But we have been working on this for a very, very long time. It's something that we first got the idea about probably a little over a year ago. And about middle of last year, the last half of the year, we put a ton of effort in. We even hired new staff just to be able to pull this thing off. So this is, I think, going to be game changing. This is not like most people's coaching program. We aren't giving you a watered down version of some playbook. We aren't telling you just how to get Facebook leads or just how to get Google leads or just how to build a website. This is literally everything we do. No secrets, no curtains. You're going to get access to every one of us and everything that we do. So if you're interested in that and you want to take advantage of that offer, or if you don't want to do this in the next couple of weeks and you decide later. So we have the Local Growth Academy Facebook group, but we also just launched localgrowthacademy.com. It's live right now. You can go to localgrowthacademy.com and there's two options on that page. First of all, the landing page, when you get there, you'll see some information that kind of mirrors some of the things we talked about today in this presentation. But there's a much shorter video if you want to remind yourself of what this is about without rewatching this giant live video that we're doing now. There's a much shorter video that kind of summarizes what the program's all about on that page. And there's two buttons. One of those buttons is if you've worked with me before, you know me, you trust me and my team, you know this is the right fit, and you're ready to go. There's a buy now button. Click it. Checkout. It's an e-commerce thing. Put in your, name, email, address, card information, all that stuff. Buy it, and then tomorrow, or is within a day after you buy it. I was going to say tomorrow or Monday, but that's if you buy it tonight. You buy it later, just within a day, our team will get back with you, set your account up, get you in there, get you all the intro assets you need so you can learn your way around the site, learn your way around the program, and get familiar with when the schedule is going to be for when we're going to do the trainings and coaching calls and all that good stuff. So if you're not sure, there's a second option. If you're like, I'm kind of sure, but I'm on the fence, or I don't know if this program is right for me or not, there's also an option to book a call. Now, if you know me, and I think most of you guys do here, I do not do high pressure sales. I'm not going to push a product that is not right for you. I do not want to do that. My reputation, your health as a business is worth way more than a single product sale. It's not what I'm going to do. So if you genuinely have questions, you're like, I don't know if that's right for me or not. Maybe you're on the fence between doing a program like this and hiring me as an agency, right? Maybe that's the choice. Or, maybe you're choosing between another program and this one. Or maybe you're choosing between YouTube University and a program like this. Whatever it is, book a call. We'll chat about it. We'll jump on a Zoom, jump on a phone call. We'll chat it through. I'll give you honest advice with where you're at. And some of you, I will tell you this is not for you. Again, I'm not going to pitch you a product that you shouldn't buy. But if I think this is right for you, I'll tell you why. And if you agree with me, then I'll show you how to buy. Okay, guys, that's the end of my spiel today. I wanted to open this up for questions. So I've got Michael joining me here. If anybody has questions about anything about this program, pricing, terms and conditions, maybe whether or not it's right for you, whatever, fire away and let me know. All right, so let me kind of go in here. Chris Carr, I love this question. I think this is probably a comedic question of the day. Will I need to give you anything after I become a millionaire for this program? Absolutely no, you do not. I appreciate that question. That's awesome. Okay, so Ryan Pettis has a question. Says we have 3 full-time subcontractors and another one in the summer. We're pretty busy, but I plan on moving in about 2 years down south. Even though, would this still be good? So I think it just depends, Ryan, how you want to operate. So the simple answer would be yes, but let me dive in a little bit further. So the idea here with this program is to teach you all the things you need to do to create a foundational marketing approach, to create the different parts of digital assets like ad accounts and local maps and landing pages and ads and all those things to create traffic and leads for your business. And then it's going to talk about how to take those leads and turn them into appointments, turn them into closed deals, and turn those into raving fans. It's basically the process. So if you're moving, anytime you move a local business from one area to another, you're effectively starting over, right? You may have website assets that translate business. Maybe some of it, especially if you're not moving too far away, maybe some of your crews hold on. You're definitely going to have all the knowledge as a business owner you've learned. And that's one thing you would get from here. But if you move from, like, let's say Michigan down to Florida, where I'm at, your customers are different. Everything's going to be different. So you'd have to kind of start over. So, but now we get to the part of, if you've taken this program and you have perpetual access to it, how much faster would that be to start over in another area versus not, right? I think it would be easier. I think in general, everything is easier with training. And guys, for some transparency here, I spend on average between $15,000 to $20,000 a year on training. That sounds crazy, and some of you might gasp at that number. But the reality is we can all get from point A to point B. And to be quite frank, there's nothing that I do that's a complete secret. It's nothing that I do that's a secret. It's the formula and the process that's secret. But you could also say the same thing if you're in the kitchen cooking a recipe. You could have Gordon Ramsay in a kitchen with the same ingredients as you have. Who do you think is going to make the better dish? You have the same cookware, you have the same stoves, you have the same flour, you have the same butter, you have the same fish, or whatever it is that you're cooking. You have all of the same ingredients. Who's making the better dish? It's knowledge, it's processes, it's systems, experience. And that's what you get access to in this, right? I spend a lot of money and a lot of time, not just in me getting other expertise, but my team does the same thing. They are constantly getting expertise. We spend a lot of time on internal training, a lot of time changing our processes to make sure that they're better for our clients. And that's something that takes a lot of time for an individual small business owner to do. That's one of the reasons people hire agencies, is because it might take you hundreds to thousands of hours to learn the things that you need to know to be able to do it. But in a program like this, we can cut down hundreds of hours on maybe 500 to 1,000 hours of YouTube research and blog reading and book reading, and I can distill that down in a tenth or less of that time. It's something that we've already cut out the junk that doesn't work, and you have an A to Z method to follow. So that's my answer to that, Ryan. I hope that helps. I see a couple people here that have already booked calls with me, Michael Tubbs and a couple other people. Looks like Ken Bristol already did that. I see Kimberly, sounds like an amazing opportunity to grow our business. Yeah, Kimberly, and I'm super excited to have you join the program. Can't wait to work with you on that. I know I've helped you out with a couple other things and excited to continue that. I see another question here from Chris Zook. Fantastic question. And Ryan even commented how great of a question it was. So here's the question. It says, my question is, some of us have struggles trying to find the time to get everything we need done. Do you have suggestions on how to be able to free up more time to implement this kind of program? All right. So when I was doing my pitch, I talked about 12 core modules, right? And so those are the core modules that are part of the fundamental of building the customer acquisition pipeline. But I told you we have some bonus modules planned. We already have some in the works. Some of them are mindset things, breaking free from limiting beliefs that help us achieve better goals. One of them is workflow. We have a giant section on workflow because we all only have so much time. And Chris, just like you, I have days of overwhelm where it feels like 10,000 things are happening and I don't have time to do 5 of them. And every time, everyone's had this feeling where you check off one thing on your list and 3 more come back on your list. Michael and I, working on this presentation today, had that exact same thing. We were like, okay, what do we got to do before we go live? We do one thing and like, oh, there's 3 more. It literally was like that for half the day. So I feel your pain, Chris. But what I can tell you is that there's some workflow hacks that work, organizational hacks that work to help improve just about anybody, regardless of what kind of business they're in. Now, this program is meant for contractors, and we'll make sure that it's applied in that way. But there's some general principles of workflow and efficacy and time management and delegation. One of my favorites is a thing from 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. There's a grid of important and urgent. And a lot of people end up spending time on things that are, if you imagine a T, and urgency is one way and importance is another way. Most people spend their time on things that are urgent but not important. most commonly? An alert on one of these, right? So phone goes off, a Facebook notification happens, something, and it derails us, right? So we spend our time on these things that are urgent, they're in our face, but they aren't important because they don't move the business needle. And so what we want to do, and we do have training planned for this course, it's not done yet, but we do have some plan, and based on things that we do in our own organization, of how to identify, prioritize, and build schedules and workflows around the things that are important. Creating systems to know when you as the business owner need to do this task, when something needs to get eliminated completely, or when there's a task that should be delegated to somebody that works for you. And yes, so we're going to help with that. I'll also note, Chris, that, and I didn't say this in the the offer pitch a little bit ago, but I should have. This program doesn't take as much time as you think. I would say that you need a minimum of 2 to 3 hours a week. 5 to 10 is better, right? But you don't have to have 20, 30, 40 hours a week in this. That's because we have put so much time into this program. We're going to give you every shortcut under the book. I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do and the things that you don't need to do that are not important, or that maybe are, matter a little, but they take 20 hours for, barely a difference. Point is I'm going to dilute this to where you're only having to put the time into the things that are super critical and they're going to move the needle a lot. And I'm going to show you how to identify things that aren't and how to prioritize your day, your week, your month, help you on those visions. Because it's really important. No matter where you are in any organization, you're not going to hit goals if you can't be productive. So Chris, look, absolutely. Yes, we're going to talk about that. Michael, do you see anything else come in? That's all I see on that particular feed. I've got some, I got some PMs coming in too, so I kind of got a bunch of stuff everywhere. What you got, Michael? Yeah, yeah, for sure. And Ken, yeah, this program is designed to do that. Like I said earlier on, this is not a watered down version. Um, I think about the only thing that we do as an agency that I'm not going to bother teaching you would be like PHP and JavaScript coding. Like there's some things that are like that you should probably hire out. There's a couple things that we'll come across that are super, super geeky that could take you thousands and thousands of hours to have to do that are not worth your time, and they're hardly even worth our time. So there's a couple things we'll ignore, but we'll still talk about them, and I'll show you how to be able to get the output of that without actually having to become that. I'll teach you how to make a website without having to be a coder. There's several ways, and we'll show you a few of them. We're going to focus on concepts that can apply in a broader scale across multiple tools. Michael and the rest of my team can tell you I'm a foundation and principle guy. I believe that anything that you learn, you should learn the fundamentals of, not the tools. Tools change, methods change, tactics change. But psychology, sales, persuasion, marketing, the fundamentals of these things, they haven't changed as long as humans have been around. It just changes how we reach people. People make decisions the same way that we did thousands of years ago. And so if you understand some core concepts, even 5 years from now, some website platform changes and you want to build a new thing, it's okay. You're going to have the fundamentals of what you need to do that. Hope that helps. Michael, we got anything else? Uh-huh. Yeah, 100%. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some of you might already be booked. That brings up a good point. Some of you guys might already be booked for my breakthrough call. That breakthrough call is a free strategy call, not a sales call. The call that's on localgrowthacademy.com is a call to talk about this program. So that effectively is a sales call. Still not a high pressure sales call. I promise I never do that. But it is a call specifically to see if this is a good fit for you. The breakthrough call is completely different, and there's no sales whatsoever. We're not talking about any products. We're just talking about strategy and where you are in your business. So if you're already booked for a breakthrough call and you also want to talk about this program, book the other call. It is a different call. Great question. All right, guys. Well, we're going to go ahead and end this live. Guys, I hope to see you in the program. I'm excited for 2024 for all of us, and we'll chat soon. Bye, guys.